The conservation and sustainable management of nature is a complicated issue. Nature is complex, so we need to embrace that complexity.
The coastal wetlands provide essential ecosystem services, but what does that mean?
Mangroves and seagrass are very important ecosystems. In fact, we even refer to them as blue carbon ecosystems. Their intricate root systems help to hold the soil together along the coast, thereby preventing erosion and helping to stabilize the land.
These seagrass habitats, as well as mangroves, are habitats for marine biodiversity, nurseries for many species of fish. They are supporting livelihoods.
They also provide home to many species that tourists are attracted to. The manatees, for example. Seagrass and mangroves provide habitat and feeding grounds for these species.
They are sequestering carbon from the atmosphere, storing them into the soil and locking it, assisting us in combating the impacts of climate change. They're a triple benefits ecosystem.
The policy makers need to be aware that by conserving mangroves, by protecting them and restoring them, the environmental benefits that the country can obtain surpass the investment needed for that.
Belize is a small country with very small amounts of greenhouse gas emissions. Nevertheless, we are endeavoring to be a leader in encouraging other countries to mitigate and to adapt to climate change.
We wanted to make sure that we can increase ambition for protection and restoration of these important ecosystems. And we wanted to do it from a very science-based approach, as well as a very transparent and consultative process.
6.5.
What the country did is work with partners such as World Wildlife Fund, the Pew Charitable Trust, and other NGO and government partners.
We decided to protect and to restore areas that have mangroves. Up to 2025, we will protect 6,000 hectares, and we want to map the amount of seagrasses that we have in our coastal areas, and we want to implement measures in order to protect and to restore seagrass. It is our hope that other countries may look at our example and may follow that example to restore and to protect our blue carbon systems.
When you look at Seychelles, the way the economy works, a lot of the activities we do, they depend on the integrity of the natural environment.
It's absolutely important for the Seychelles to be protecting its mangrove and seagrass ecosystems. The mapping of seagrass across the entire EEZ of the Seychelles, and including doing below-surface carbon stocks assessments, is one ambitious endeavor by a small island developing state.
Oftentimes we talk about protection, but we don't ensure that the beneficiaries understand what we mean by protection and they don't see the benefits of protection.
Things that people do not believe have value are not given a name. There wasn't a Creole word for seagrass. Through this seagrass mapping project, we decided to really go down to the community, to connect the community to international policy making. Through a process of voting for which word would be preferred, we will institutionalize the word for seagrass and hopefully have the word actually integrated into the Creole dictionary.
We know, because of the mapping exercises that the country has done, that although mangroves are protected in the country, they've been lost at a rate of around 14,000 hectares in the last 20 years. There is a very large amount of carbon that's being lost because of that loss in mangrove cover.
Costa Rica ha sido líder en la implementación de algunas de las soluciones basadas en naturaleza en la región, ya que cuenta con una gran trayectoria de mapeo, además de sus áreas silvestres protegidas, de una gran conservación, de medidas de conservación normativa y técnica que le permite darle un seguimiento al cambio de estos ecosistemas.
We're very fortunate in Costa Rica because we were able to match scientific knowledge with political will and institutional capacities to include these conservation, restoration, and sustainable management targets within Costa Rica's NDC.
Organizations like Conservation International, local NGOs, Pew Charitable Trust work together with the government, and that's the important part.
Últimamente se ha reforzado muchísimo lo que es la ciencia ciudadana y también escuchar esa voz ciudadana que ha implementado soluciones ancestrales, ¿verdad?, que han dado muy buenos resultados.
What Costa Rica is doing is just putting forward this important message that restoring, conserving, and bringing communities and, of course, governments and local stakeholders for effective management of these ecosystems is something that every country needs to do.